Hey guys, welcome back to Home Built, and in this episode I'm not actually going to be working on my normal crazy projects. I've got another crazy project in mind. So although I am very lucky to have a nice big garage here, I am still always fighting for that extra bit of space. And I thought I would do a project that I've been meaning to do for a long time, and that is actually to take my air compressors and get them outside. The thing is with air compressors is you need them for the workshop. They are a vital piece of equipment, and I'm using them all the time. But they take up a lot of room and they're quite loud. And I actually have two compressors that I use together because I use air tools and things like that. It really sucks a lot of air, so I've gone to using two compressors because I'm just at home still. I still only have the regular power. I don't have a three-phase setup where I can get a really big compressor. These are the biggest ones I can run on our regular power here in Australia. So I need to build a box for them, but if I'm going to put them outside, the other thing is because they are quite loud, I thought, how do we go about building a box that is near on silent and just cuts down all of the noise? So I've got a plan. Let's start cutting some things up, and I'll take you through it along the way. Okay, I'm back at it, and now I have the base frame made up. I need to get some of my marine ply, and that is going to create the floor of my structure. So I'm going to trim out pieces to fit onto this and start fitting them all up. All right, welcome to the overgrown weed pile that is the back of my shed. So this is where I'm going to build my air compressor box. And first thing is I've got my basic frame here, and this is actually the base, and this is going to go into the ground. So first things first, I have to actually dig some holes and mount the legs, which are treated, H4 treated pine, to go into the ground, and that will form the base of my air compressor box. Okay, so all of the holes are dug, the platform is sitting where I want it to. I'm going to go around now, make sure it's all nice and level and flat everywhere. Then I'm going to concrete in the post with just some rapid set concrete, and then my air compressor box is, the base is done anyway. Alright, so I'm no way saying this is the best way to build a box, but it's more about giving you the idea of how the actual soundproofing, etc. works. And saying that, let's move forward and actually build the box on top, and I'll start tacking things up, and then I'll talk to you about my design choices once we get there. So one of the biggest things with building this box is getting the air in and out of the box and making sure that these things don't overheat and actually can get some decent airflow. And that's where this system comes in. So this is going to be the setup of the box. It's actually going to have an open end on both ends, and the air is going to be able to travel around this sort of S-bend configuration. Obviously this is going to be boxed off on the front here, and there'll be doors along the front. So this is the basic layout. So I'm going to start capping this in now, and sort of it will start tightening this thing up, because at the moment it's a very flimsy piece of gear. We'll make it a little bit more rigid and keep moving forward. So in true home-built fashion, I've forgotten to turn my microphone on again, but moving on, I've got the basic structure of the box set up now, and what I need to do moving forward is start sealing it all in. And the main method of doing this is I'm going to be using this stuff, which is a 1-inch thick sound deadening foam. I got it locally. I'll try and add a link in the description of something similar. But the basic theory is that the sound will, when it's trying to go through the S-bend, it won't actually travel around corners and will get absorbed in, so the sound won't be able to escape the box. So I'll seal it all up with this sound deadening foam, lining every single surface with the foam, and it should be a nice soundproof box. Well, that's the plan anyway. Okay, so you can see that I have actually lined the entire inside of this box now in this sound deadening foam. So as you can see here, it's it's an inch thick, I think. I've used spray adhesive on the top part, and I've gone around with all of it and just stapled it in, which probably will reduce its sound deadening ability, because it's these points would be somewhere where the sound could get through. It would be better to glue it down all the way, but I don't want it falling down again. And to be honest, this is going to be like, this is sort of overkill really. And you can see here the pattern. So the air will be able to come through from inside where the air compressor is, travel through around this baffle, and then this side, this part here will be open, and this front face will be closed up. So I'm going to put another panel on here with sound deadening in it, and I'm going to put 2 doors on here now to seal up the front, and we'll have a sealed box. Okay, so now I've got to put on some doors. So I've already pre-cut them, and these are going to go on the front here. I'm going to put them on, and then I'm going to go back and reline them internally with the sound deadening material. All right, so now my box is completely built. It is time to start putting a roof on it, and I've got this old sheet of iron that I'm going to cut out and put a shelter on it. That's why I've got my timbers in the way that I have, so that the rain will just roll off. So it's time to start working my hands and cutting out this sheet. And there we have it. We have a roof on top of my box. And the last thing that I need to do before I can actually use it is these ends. This is open on both ends, and I need to actually put some mesh over it so that I don't get possums living in it. All right, and I have my finished boxes with all my space ready to go. So now it's time to put some air compressors into my boxes. All right, so I've got these going now, and unfortunately it's not as quiet as I hoped. Let me take you through now, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Hear them both there. Oh, it is a lot quieter, and I can actually film and I can hear myself next to them when they're going, and you can still just hear them in the garage. It's not as quiet as I was hoping, that is true. I really wanted to make these so that it was almost a silent venture. I think some of it's due to the fact that I didn't use thick enough marine ply. There's probably more I can do about sealing up the edges of this box itself, but I think also some of it is the vibrations of the whole box itself, because it's sitting up on this on the wood. It's vibrating the whole structure. But either way, it's so much quieter now. I can actually film and talk and hear myself think inside. And these are out of the garage doing their thing, and I don't have to deal with them anymore. So just for your reference, this is how it's all plumbed up. The air line comes straight into the air trap regulator there, and then I've branched it off. One line goes through into the booth, and that is through to that air line right there. And the other end follows along over the top here down to this air line for the garage workshop here, so I can work on the cars. So, and I'll just demonstrate now what it sounds like here in the garage. So I'll just use some air. Okay, so it's kicked off there. I don't know if you can even hear that. I can hear it. It is going in the background, but I can still talk. The car out on the road's making more noise than the compressor is. It's definitely not overpowering, and I can definitely continue to work in the garage without it bothering me. I just wish that it was a little bit quieter, so if I do leave it on in the middle of the night, and my neighbours hopefully wouldn't be able to hear it. At this stage, I think they might. In any case, that is it for this one. So if you liked the video, please like, subscribe, leave any comments down in the description below. I usually get to all comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. See ya.